Hello and welcome to another live sculpting Monday. My name is Shane Olson, and today we're going to be continuing work on this sad fella right here that's dropped his ice cream cone. I thought it was hilarious. The design is by Shafi Ahi, and this is how far we got last week, and we're going to continue on this week and build his body, continue working on it. So welcome, and let's get going. Okay, so just looking at the bill of this hat, it's got this crease, and I think I actually broke it. So I didn't notice that I had done that. Let's get it fixed. Yeah, look, I don't know, I don't know what I did to it, but it's. I tell my students there's no hole you can dig that you can't dig your way out of. We're going to do that now. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome. Okay, crazy. All right, we have dynamic thickness, and looks like, let's solo this. That's a good way to start out this stream, huh? What's up, Mark? How you guys doing? So I'm just going to kind of smooth this out. Now you'll notice that the edge doesn't get smoothed out, only the interior. So I can either move this away by hand, or there is a smooth brush called Smooth Cloth. And if you use Smooth Cloth, you have to turn the intensity way down, and then it will smooth the edge. But yeah, it kind of goes in on itself, and that's not what I want. So I think I will just move it by hand. Hey Brad, how are you? Welcome. What are you guys up to today? I'm going to turn off symmetry for a second, make my brush really small so I don't accidentally grab all the neighbors, and just kind of unravel this mess that I've made. I think what I did is I moved it asymmetrically, because off stream I was just trying to get it to look a little bit closer to the concept, and I think during that process I may have messed it up a bit. I don't know what is going on with this little guy. Let's turn on double. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Double, so I can see what's going on this side. Back on the ice cream. What's up, Lavender? How are you doing? Okay, so now we have kind of this crooked center. Let's turn on the floor so we can actually see the alignment of this. Turn off perspective, and we can see, if we look at it from the front, I'm going to mirror it from left to right. So we want everything that has issues to be on the right hand side. We can go ahead and try and do a mirror and weld right now. Make sure we have local symmetry turned off. Let's see what that gives us. Okay, that's pretty clean. Not bad. Hey. How's the snow today? Actually, it's a really nice day, but we do have a lot of snow out there. There's a lot of kids. We kind of have a sleigh riding hill close to my house that I can see from my kitchen window. There's a lot of people over there today. Okay, so I think this will work. Let's go back to the regular smooth brush. Smooth. Okay, let's turn down the intensity. Yeah, it's pretty low. How are all you doing today? Soggy. Is it wet? Okay, that's better. There we go. Okay, so the things I did off stream was I lowered his eyes just a little bit closer to this mouth edge loop. I want to kind of scrunch his nose up a little bit. This is pretty dense for a mesh, so I'm going to Z-remesh it. Hey Joe, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Nice. How's it going, David? Let's see. It's warmer than it was actually it's colder than it was yesterday. It was warm enough to melt like rain instead of snow, which was weird. Actually, I kind of like that, how it's kind of longish like this. Let's take a look at it. It's decent. Okay, let's look at this and these. Not bad. Okay. Let's make him some eyebrows, shall we? Oh, angry. I don't want to talk about it. 80. Get out of here. How you doing, man? Where are you? Florida or something? Texas? What's going on? Okay. To make his eyebrows, I'm just going to select this head. And then we're going to select this topology brush. And we're just going to draw the eyebrow shape right on the surface of his head here. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah. South Florida. There you go. I didn't know you. Why didn't I know you were in Florida? I'm sure you told me at one point. You know, I'm going to leave this very, very light. So 4 quads, that's enough. And we're going to go to draw size 1, I think. Is that what I want to do? You know what? No, let's just give it thickness now. That's always a debate in my head whether I give it thickness now or later. And then I'll click on the surface, and that will give it thickness. And then you can do a split unmask points, and it will split them off. Hi, how do you rig your characters? Well, lately I've been using Character Creator 4, which has been an absolute delight because it's like it's an automated rigging system called AccuRig, and I believe AccuRig is free. But I've also been enjoying using their base meshes, and that will automatically rig it for free. So, not for free. The program costs, Character Creator costs money, but I'm just saying the rig, when you're actually finished with sculpting, you push it over to Character Creator and it's already rigged. It's wild. I love it. Okay. I'm going to solo this, and I'm going to do group by normals, which will put a normal, a poly group on anything that is past 45 degrees. Okay, and then, let's see. Because I want to crease the edges on the corners. And so now I can do crease by poly group, which is right here, crease poly group. If you're wondering what menu I'm using, this is my own custom menu. And essentially this menu is just a bunch of items that I pulled out of the tool menu that I can access quickly. I give this away over on my website, 3dcharacterworkshop.com. You can go get it over there. And you can access this and use my user interface and my brushes and my ruler file and everything. So, okay. David, I think I can't remember. They may have both, but I'm not sure. Okay, let's see. Mirror and weld. There we go. And I'm going to change the crease level to maybe a 2. And then I'm going to turn on dynamic and crank this up to like a 4. Maybe a 5. There we go. Okay. I like those. I think it's just perpetual. You think you're right, Chris? Okay, so let's turn our gizmo and raise the eyebrows off the surface. And then roll it like this. And like this. He's really sad. Jennifer, I mean, this is Maxon's live stream, so I don't want to talk about other software, but it's Character Creator works hand in hand with ZBrush. So and they give it away. They promoted the ZBrush Summit, so I think it's okay, but let me show you. really quickly. So the Reallusion Hub. Let me see here. Okay, yeah. So they have iClone, which is an animation software, character creator, and then a 2D animation software. And then these are free. You can go get these for ZBrush. The ZBrush Pose Tools, that's a plugin for ZBrush that it's kind of like a pose bank. It allows you to store your poses in a bank, which is nice. But this one, Actor Core AccuRig, this is the one I was talking about that's free. So. Do you have an early access on the ZBrush? I don't, JG, I wish. Not yet. And I couldn't tell you if I did. Okay, I'm gonna roll these back just a little bit. I can tell you that I'm excited for that though. Okay, I'm gonna darken these brows a bit. Oh, Justin, they do have a subtype thing? Interesting. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this color and just kind of darken it a little bit, just to make his eyebrows slightly darker like the drawing. Okay. Let's see. Now, his mouth interior color is a little orange for my taste. I think I'm going to change it. Yeah, they have some really, really fun tools. There's this plugin called Headshot 2 that allows you to wrap their base mesh around your sculpt. And then, and that allows you to just have the base mesh automatically rigged, which is great. But you are limited to, if you're going to use their base mesh, you're kind of limited to a character that has 5 fingers, 5 toes, that kind of thing. Make his teeth a little bit wider here. Let's see. It gives you the apps and store items. Notice I haven't looked at it real close. Yeah, I haven't either, honestly. I probably should, so I can answer questions like that. One moment. One second, sorry. Okay. So again, I want to change this color to a little less orangey. What's your thoughts on artificial intelligence? Mohammed, I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. I can share my thoughts about it, and my thoughts are that at the current moment, I'm not too concerned. And the main reason is because you can't really art direct AI. It'll just give you something new. So as far as that goes, I'm not too concerned because, and then the copyright issues, you can't copyright AI generated stuff. And I mean, we've had ZRemesher and things like that for years and years and years, and it still can't do a nice mesh. You have to do it by hand. And so that side of things, I'm not really worried about. Same with UVs. I mean, I kind of wish they would develop AI to help us with that side of things. But so far, not so much. And the AI with 3D modeling, all it's doing right now is generating point clouds. And that's not really useful for any kind of development. it's I always envision AI as being like a starting off point. Like it kind of helps you get ideas and stuff like that. And but yeah, I don't know. I don't have a super strong opinion about it, other than we'll see. Right? Yeah, point clouds are useless. It's like melted snow. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Okay. This isn't going to be the cleanest edge because it's poly paint. So I'm just kind of getting in a rough color. Man, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, why couldn't they develop AI to do the stuff we don't want to do? Why are they starting from the top and going down? I would happily let AI do the rigging and weight painting and all that stuff, and just let me be creative, you know? All right, I think that's good enough. I'm not too concerned about what's going on back here. Okay, I think that's better. I like that better. It's less orange. But there's some weird color on the end of this thing. Oops. Come on. There we go. That's better. Okay, let's see here. I want to shape this hair a little better so it kind of goes from thick to thin. Just kind of squish this together. For some reason, when I see some AI generated, yeah, it's got this very, very unique, specific look to it. Okay. Yeah, it knows anatomy. Yeah, you know, Jennifer, there's one thing I've seen that's really kind of interesting to me, and that's kind of like self specifically trained AI on like your own stuff. I've seen that, and it's really interesting. Like an artist will put all of their own work in there and say, okay, train yourself off of what I just put in this bucket. Don't go out and like don't really mix it with any other art. And then it generated, so it is the artist that created that bucket, and then having the AI generate off of that. That's really interesting to me. It was interesting to see what it would come up with, and it was surprisingly well. Oops. So it's like telling somebody make this stew with only my ingredients, you know. Really interesting. It's better. Okay. JJ. That's funny. Okay, let's move on. Well, one more thing. I want to stretch this bill out a little bit wider. Okay. Stretch out the bill. All right, did I miss anybody's comments here? I want to print a figure, and I don't know if it's better to use by union or the usual booleans. Thank you. Thanks for the question, Sergio. So my answer is you can remesh by union is using boolean without actually doing a boolean. So you're not adding or subtracting any objects when you run it. So remesh by union will stitch everything together and then create triangles along those stitch lines, but it will really hold on to the sharp edges nice. So I think the question is, should I use remesh by union or Dynamesh? And my answer these days is always remesh by union, 100%. Because it will also get rid of the interior geometry that you don't want during printing. Is it worth it to just put all my efforts into stylized sculpting because I really love stylized art and I don't want to sculpt some realistic? I mean, I've done stylized characters my entire career of 25 years, so I don't think it's going away anytime soon. I think there are fewer stylized jobs, but the jobs are out there. And if that's where your passion is, that's what you should do, because it will show in your work. Okay. So let's make the body. This body will be very interesting. Oh, that's funny. That happens when you when your focal size is off. I think it has to be at 100%. No. Why did it do that? Trippy. What in the world is going on here? My focal shift is, oh, minus 100? Okay. Thanks, Neil. Yes, okay. I knew it had to do with focal shift. I just couldn't remember which way to go. Okay. All right, I think that'll do. Yeah, I wouldn't overthink it. Just yeah, just follow your passion, and it will show in your work. For the employers, do what they want, kind of. So if you're passionate about stylized characters and that's what you have in your portfolio, that's what you're going to attract as far as getting work. If you put realistic characters in your portfolio, then you're going to get realistic character work. Little legs. And let's duplicate these off. What's up, Jazzy? Does the quantity of things in your portfolio matter? No. You can get hired with one really good piece. It's totally possible. The only thing that more pieces are going to help with is showing that you're not a one-trick pony. that you can do it over and over again. And it also shows like that you can do more than just one thing, you know. That's what having more stuff in your portfolio will do for you. But you can get hired by just having one really, really good piece. I've seen it several times. I mean, start with freelance and then maybe go full-time job if I ever get an opportunity. Sweet. It sounds like a plan. So one super high quality piece that shows the retop maps, etc. Yep. All the things. Basically show that you can do the work that they need you to do. That's the whole definition of a portfolio, essentially. So the more you can show of the process, the better off you are. Like if you can show your maps, your retopology, all that stuff. Hello, somebody from Twitter. How are you? I was wondering how Twitter is as a streaming target, like a place to watch videos. I don't think I've ever watched a video on Twitter before. Just thinning out these arms a bit. And then I'm gonna make, man, this neck is so small. Give him some shoulders. Go. I don't think I'm gonna 3D print this, so I'm gonna just ignore the fact that his neck is so stinking small and just match the concept. It's your first? Nice. Yeah, when I think of watching videos, I don't think of Twitter, to be honest. But, you know, I was thinking about streaming on my own channels and stuff, and I was wondering, I was thinking about, would I want to push it to Twitter? I don't know. Hey, what's up, Zofo? It does sound like a Rick Springfield song. Rick Springfield. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. It's quite the crazy neck. All right. Okay, I'm going to kind of put this in pose already. So let's split hidden. So this body is in a different subtool. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick it on an angle already. From where do you get this lovely type of lovely references? I basically just run across them on my socials, like Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, all those. Just the people I follow, and go down the rabbit hole. One artist leads to another. Yeah, JJ, that's what I was talking about. Make sure that it looks like an asset that you can, that someone ordered, I guess. Yeah, that's a huge ice cream. All right, I like his legs kind of going inwards like this. I know one's in front of the other, but for now I'm just going to kind of bring him in a little bit like this. And he's got these big hands, which I love. Okay, let's see. I want to kind of block out his hands really quick. Let me see. I'm trying to decide what I want to do with those fingers. Hey, what's up, George? I just chose, notice you chose not to have an eye cavity. I love how you chose to have the eye popping out and yet so appealing. Oh, thanks. I tried a concept with the same style and it was so hard to get it right. Yeah, I just kind of tried it. It kind of looks like clams or oysters or whatever. A little bit. Barnacles. Oh, barnacles. Okay, I think what I want to do is kind of go squish them like this. These will be the palms. And then I'm just going to make one finger that's curled up and then duplicate it. Let's do appendage. Yeah, George does some great anatomical blockouts. You guys, if you want to check out his work, it's really, really good. I'm going to split this off just for a second, then I'll merge it back, just so I can bend it without dealing with masking off the rest of everything. Let's go maybe out here. I just kind of curl that up in there. I'm going to rewind this a little bit because I want a better arc or a pinch right here. Because I blurred the mask out and I shouldn't have. Because if you don't blur the mask on fingers, you get this nice, see that nice crease right there? Whoops. And then go to my move brush and just kind of square off that knuckle. And kind of scoot this up, soften this now. Just so it's not so pinched right there. That's a nice bend right there. Are you a music or no music? I am typically a music. But sometimes I will not be listening to music and still leave my headphones on, just so I don't get bothered as much. Here, I'm gonna sew this so it's not in the way. It's funny, when I was working on Disney Infinity, I would listen to the movie soundtracks of the characters that I was modeling. that worked pretty well. Most of the time I listen to like 80s music. Like right now I'm listening to Cruel Summer by Bananarama. Let's even this out. Which was on the Karate Kid soundtrack. Okay, I think I'm gonna stick with that. It doesn't curl up underneath as much as these do, but I'm gonna turn it just a little bit and I think it'll work pretty good. The bass line in the song is pretty wild. I mean, it's all synthesized, but it's pretty good. I've been stuck in 80s pops for months now. Guess it'd be like top 40. Yeah. I typically listen to what back then was known as new wave. Cruel Summer really isn't a new wave song, but okay, let's see. I'm gonna go. Sorry, I'm being so meticulous about this one finger. Sometimes I'll listen to 80s rock too. Good stuff. Van Halen, Def Leppard, you know. Some Iron Maiden once in a while. Not very often, but sometimes. Yeah, hands have so much personality. You really shouldn't ignore them. Back in the 80s, I wouldn't listen to anything but rock and yeah. There's a lot of people like that. It was a whole vibe. I'm listening to New Sensation by INXS. Good song. To refuse. This looks, I gotta get his thumb on there because it looks like a backwards hand. That's a weird kind of a clawed thumb. It's kind of going sideways a little bit. it's stretched like this. like see if we can get it to look okay. There really is no difference. Oh, really, Zofo? Good song. Got to edit it out. Maybe turn it a little bit. It's weird. So I want to kind of unfold it a little bit and wrap it around this. So maybe I'll turn it and then pull it down. Topological. That's okay. We get that knuckle going down like that. Sorry, I'm concentrating a little bit. I've lost some of my volume on the face of it. You've got to do. Need to crank them up so the knuckles are facing up. We got one of those mirrored dilemmas where this thumb thinks it's supposed to be on the other side. So let's turn off local symmetry and mirror and weld. Hopefully that'll fix it. Yep. Okay. Now, let's merge this back together. Born in 97. Yeah, I'm 80s years old. So I'll merge this down. Okay. Maybe. I'm not liking this hand yet. It's still weird. I'll figure it out. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Okay. Make that palm more integrated, not so bulgy out the back. Something like that. I don't know. It's the thumb continuing to curl around to meet there is the issue I'm having here. What's up, Chase? Do you texture and substance? Yeah. Mainly I poly paint though, yeah. But sometimes I'll take it to substance for sure. In fact, I'm going to be learning how to do it, to do that workflow a little better soon, because I need to. Okay, I'm going to put these in their own poly groups and then mirror and weld this whole thing. Oh my goodness. What the heck's going on? Let's save this. As soon as it starts doing weird stuff, make sure you save off a version. Let's try it one more time. Probably do the same thing. Yeah, just garbage. Let's try mirroring it, then do a mirror and weld. That worked. So that's a little trick you can do. So see this mirror right here? That's in the deformation menu in the tool menu. And that will just essentially just flip your geometry to the other side. Because mirror and weld will take whatever's on screen left and mirror it to screen right when you're looking at it from the front. So basically mirroring will take whatever was good on this side and flip it over, and then you can mirror and weld it, and it will sometimes fix that sharding that happens. Shard with a D, not a T. Okay. Now I can edit the thumb, because I wanted to put the thumb in its own poly group, so I could move it and kind of edit it and push it. It's a good song. Dance Hall Days by Wang Chung. That's a good one. I thought it was angry. Shard. Goodness sakes. Okay. Looks like a bagel. It's a bagel hand. Bagel hand. Too big now. Very different. Play upon her darkest fears. Sorry, I'm spending too long on these stupid thumbs because they're bugging the heck out of me. That's hilarious. You're welcome. I think somebody else said Rick Springfield, but all right. So let's get these shorts going, and these. Then we can merge that hand all together and make it look not like a bagel. Okay, shorts. How are we gonna make these shorts? Let's make them with appendage brush. And let's see, what do I want to do? Let's, I think I'm going to remesh by union these two together and then smooth them out and then use that mesh as the shorts base. That's probably the best thing to do. Okay, let's do that. So I'm going to hide this and that. And then we'll do a center this and then do a remesh by union. Boink. And whoop, you got to do it with masking. I always mix up remeshing and Z-remeshing. Thanks, Neil. Too late. I already did it. No. Okay, thanks. You remember, I do not. Okay, remesh by union. And that will leave the arms alone, but stitch the rest. 3D, thank you very much. Welcome to the stream. Okay, let's Z-remesh this. piece. So for this one, you want to hide it. And I think I'm going to, whoops, let's turn on symmetry, and then we're just going to soften this transition. So it kind of looks like this. Okay, it doesn't really look too pelvis-ish, but that's okay. We're going to Z-remesh it anyway. And let's use same. It's very close to what I want. And I don't know if I want to keep groups. Let's see what happens, I guess. That's not too bad, I guess. We can smooth that out even more. Smooth this out. Speaking of Def Leppard. Hysteria when you're near. Sorry you had to hear that. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing, but I want to cut off, well, yeah, I was going to curve the feet on the bottom just so I can get a, let's use the knife though. So it'll give us a poly group that we can keep. It's a great tune. It's a group I have never seen in concert. I'm going to turn down. You can, so when you do Z-remesh and you use keep groups, you have this smooth group slider. You kind of lower that so it maintains where it used to be. You don't want to go all the way down because it'll give you kind of chunky edges. You don't want to go all the way up because it'll smooth in between the groups and kind of create these scallops. So you can kind of go somewhere in the middle. Yeah, see that? See how it's kind of coming down and going in a little bit and out a little bit. It's just creating some weird stuff. You can clean it up with the smooth brush, of course, but you can also clean it up with that smooth groups option. So otherwise you have to kind of come in here with the inflate brush and bring that volume back that you lost. Can we manually retopology a character in ZBrush? Yes, it's possible. Should we use other tools like Topogun? So my advice is the retopology tools in here are really great for doing small pieces like armor and things like that. But when you want to retopologize a full character, I recommend taking it to a program that specializes in retopology. Yeah, that's typically what I do, and whatever program you use is whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. Like Maya's Quad Draw or something like that is good. Yeah, as you want, it's the thing is the issue that I have with the current retopology tools inside of ZBrush is that they stick to the surface upon creation, but after that they no longer stick to the surface. So when you try to smooth out your quads to make them nice and even, they will start to sink into the surface, and it's just not optimal that way. And they're just much quicker tools to use. Okay, so now we have this. Now we can make shorts out of this. Okay, let's do duplicate. And then I really love to say delete everything that isn't the shorts. Makes me laugh. So the shorts come up to his waist. A cool trick is you do select lasso. That will allow you to hide a ring of loops or a ring of polygons. So you can essentially do, so you look where his waistband is and you kind of come up and guess where it's at. You hold down Control plus Shift, hover over an edge and tap on it, and it will hide that loop, that ring, whatever you want to call it. And then however long the shorts are, you can come down here and do the same thing. Maybe right there. Okay, now we have kind of the shorts isolated. And now we can do it'll get rid of these groups, but we can do auto groups. Basically what auto groups does is it puts every unique mesh island into its own group. So now the shorts are in their own group, and we only want to keep those shorts. So I'm going to unhide those rings that I hid previous. And now we can just isolate those shorts like this. Here, let's turn on double so you can see what's going on. We have our shorts like this, and then we can do delete hidden. Boom, now it's all gone. And we can do one of two things. We can either add thickness this way, or we can extrude, whatever you want to do. I typically like to keep my clothing as a single sided mesh, or I like to cap it off if it's going to be 3D printed, because that way you don't get holes in your mesh. It's just solid. But now you can see that the shorts are very wide and his legs are skinny. So we kind of have to come in here. Let's turn off dynamic. And then we need to somehow figure out how to get these to be thicker, like wider, right? So I want to keep it wrapped around his body, which is funny because now I'm listening to Wrapped Around Your Finger by the Police. Wrapped around your body. Okay, so we're going to mask this off. And then let's see what we can do as far as, let's blur this. Now, there's 3 different ways of blurring, hey John, of blurring the mask inside of ZBrush. There's this blur mask button that's I've put on my interface down here. And what that will do is that will blur it in both directions, both into the mask and into the leg. So if I tap it like this, you can see it basically blurred the whole thing. But if you hold down Control, it will only blur from the masked edge into the mask. So if you watch closely, I'll hold down Control and I hit it, you can see it just blurred into the mask. Well, I want it to blur down the leg, so I'm going to invert that mask, hit blur, and it just blurred the mask downwards. So it's a way to control the masking a little better and the blurring, I guess. Hey Chase, I just got a 3D printer. Is that a standard for modeling for printing? Cap off all the holes? Yes, that's what I like to do. That way I can avoid any pockets. So specifically, if you're using a resin printer, if you're using an extrusion printer, it doesn't matter as much because you're not going to capture any liquid plastic in the cavities, right? But with resin, you will, for sure. Okay, so if you hover over this little yellow square, you'll see it says hold Control to inflate. So I'm going to hold Control, click on this, and it's going to inflate the shorts like this. And that's basically move along normal if you're used to that verbiage from other programs. And you'll notice it's kind of creating a cavity in the center. We'll have to fix that. So we can just go to inflate and just kind of inflate this shut right here. And then we can use smooth. I don't know. It looks like I crossed the streams here in the center. So let's take the move brush and see if we can't move that back. Okay. And then we can just kind of clean this up. Go really low with our smooth brush. And we can use inflate to kind of inflate this out away from the body somewhat. And then we need to give him a butt. This is looking not buttish back here. Buttish. You're looking rather buttish. And what I like to do, especially with males, is kind of square the butt off. Looks like I lowered the intensity of my move brush, which I didn't mean to. Just kind of... And I'm using the alternate smooth. I think Paul Gabry calls it super smooth or something like that. But it's basically when you start to smooth and then you let go. It's like a relax function, where it just spreads the geometry out across the surface without losing much volume. Whoops. Okay. And I want to get this close. I don't want to, this is very, very tight on him. I don't want to go that tight with it yet, because you saw what happened when I crossed over to the other side. It's a little, it gets a little too close and too hairy. Starts to stretch and pull on itself. Can I explain the male and female butt square thing you just mentioned? Well, kind of. So on this guy, let me see if I can draw. Pull my little drawer out. So basically a square like this. That's what I'm kind of looking for when I pull the geometry into that kind of a shape. And with female, it's more like an upside down heart, where I'll go something like this. So less square, essentially. And then from the side, like the male butt will go like squared off before it hits the legs, like that. This is looking from the side. Okay, and a female will be more like heart-shaped before it goes down. Yeah. Flock of seagulls. Haven't heard this for a while. Squared off bupkis. Sure. The butt tip. So I have a group, an acceleration program of students that I give mentoring feedback to on a weekly basis. And it's funny because a lot of the conversation revolves around the pelvis region, because it's the region that gets most has the most issues. People get incorrect. The reason for the difference in shape is because of the underlying natural fat pads. Yep. And the size and shape of the pelvis itself. I'm gonna shrink these legs down a lot. Yep, exactly, John. I don't know the technical terms, but I know what they look like. And his torso, way too long. Look at this. It's like hot dog body. I need to get his this whole thing pushed up. I'm going to move the shorts up first, and then I'll move up the body to match. So I think it's about right there. Let's center this gizmo and shrink it down slightly, but lengthen it. Okay. Now, his pelvis is way down there. Nice. It's funny because for my courses and stuff, I like to make fun of the names a little bit, and that helps people remember it. Because as an artist, you don't really need to know the names of things. You just need to know what they look like, where they go, and how they work with their neighboring parts and pieces, right? So usually, yeah, call it other things like thumb meat and eye meat. Kind of helps you remember it a little bit. Hand butt. Yep. Tell us about your course. Oh, so thanks for asking about it. Oh, this looks like it was masked for some reason. So I've been running the 3D character workshop for the past, I want to say 6 years. Has it been 6 years now, Neil? Something like that. So 6 years, and I think over 2,000 students later. And it's still going. I keep adding more and more content. I haven't added more for a while, but I am working on adding some. What is going on with these shorts? I'm going to make sure that it's moved away from the center and then see what happens if I do a mirror and weld. Yeah, I saw the symmetry is off, but I want to get it fixed. Okay. Yeah, see, it made a little thing in the middle because this was pushed over too far, but okay. A little more room. Hey, look, Lori. It's exactly me when you in the groove and ZBrush wants you to say nope. Yep. Just get these all smoothed back out. Nice. Looking good again. Okay. These are like Wreck-It Ralph hands. They're huge. I think getting the shoes on there will help. Anyway, if you head on over to 3dcharacterworkshop.com, I give away my user interface, my brushes, and my ruler file all for free if you're interested. And I also teach a full course from beginner all the way to late intermediate, early advanced. And then I don't advertise it on my site, but I also have an acceleration program for people who have the skills, but they haven't broken into the industry yet. And they just need a little bit of mentoring and help getting their portfolio ready. And that's just a weekly mentorship. And I also bring in industry professionals to talk about their stories and their experiences and a little bit of training from them. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in the course, you can just go check out 3dcharacterworkshop.com. If you're interested in the acceleration program, you can either click on that contact button over there, or you can send me an email directly to shane.olson@3dcharacterworkshop.com. Been in the industry for 30 plus years and I still need someone to lead me around by the nose. John, I hear you there. I'm learning new things every day. Like right now, I'm learning character creator. And congrats for being in the industry that long. That says something. I don't know what, but it says something. I've been doing it for 25, so I'm not quite there yet. 30 years. So I'm curious, what was your first thing that you worked on? For me, it was Xena Warrior Princess fighting game on the Nintendo 64. Any tips on Tattoon? Are you in my course? I thought you were. Because I do cover automotive. Oh, Oddworld. Okay. So were you in what, Central California, College Town? What was that? What kind of software did I use back in the day? Well, I used something called Nendo to model my first characters. And it was a San Luis Obispo, right? Yeah. Yeah, Jennifer, you're a big Oddworld fan. I knew a friend of mine, an animator by the name of Angie Jones used to work there on Oddworld. I don't know if you know who she is. Okay, what was I doing? I was going to look something up. Oh, that's right. Okay, hold on a second. So I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek of my course. This is inside my course. This is the anatomy section, and I go over stylized hands and posing them, retopologizing them. And also in this first section right here, I talk about male and female anatomy. Let me see here. And the difference between like the hands and stuff. Let's see. Yeah, I just go over the different parts, pieces here. I can't remember if I go over the difference up front or towards the end. I want to say towards the end. But you were asking about the female butts. Yeah. Anyway, it's in there. If you're in the course, just check out the anatomy section. Okay. Oh, thanks. Okay. Where were we? Apprentice matte painter. Ooh, nice. Especially the shorter muscle terms. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Let's see. I grew up. My parents were friends with the couple that owned the shoe store and real estate office that was right next to the Oddworld. Oh, nice. Well, John, you wouldn't be the first industry pro to join my course. I've actually taught a handful of people that are in one discipline and they want to, like, I've had several people that they know realistic characters but not stylized characters that have taken my course. Some way industry professionals that are traditional sculptors, like clay, that have taken my course, and just so they can learn some ZBrush. What's up, Leonard? Did you say hi? I thought I said hi. How you doing, man? You know, realistic. There you go. But if you guys have any questions about my course, if it's right for you or whatever, feel free to send me an email. All the contact info comes to me directly. So I'm a team of one with helpers like Neil. Okay. Let's see, what color short should we do? Not skin colored. Your day's complete. Funny. Well, thanks for stopping by, Leonard. Purple, blue. I always default to like a blue. These, I don't know what's going on with these shoes. It's like, are these like thick socks that have been rolled over? But little, yeah, I don't know, but let's make them. Here we go. Is this your first stream of the year? It is, and I forgot to schedule myself. Yeah, John. You know, I could go orange. Orange is fun. He's got this reddish, like maroon hat that I gave him. I don't know. Yeah, the shoes do look like Sonic shoes, don't they? That's true. That's a good call. Okay. Let me give him a shirt first. Looks like a no shirt, shirtless Johnny. Okay. And I want to do a save off a version. Okay, so again, I'm gonna delete everything that's not the slinglet, whatever he's got. But you'll notice that I don't have geometry that is conducive to this type of shirt. So first of all, let's isolate this piece and delete the rest. And then let's give us some geometry that will work for this. And what we can do, and I don't know why I ever took this off my user interface. I probably should put it back on, but let's do mask pen. And we're going to make the sleeves with just by masking. And it's going to be kind of rough because this is so low resolution. And then we can do kind of a neck hole. What'd you call me? Okay, so something like this. It'll come down maybe a little further. Okay, so now that we have this masked, we can go to our mask menu over here and go to, is it geometry? Yeah, geometry edge loop. And then you click on this edge loop masked border. And what that does, it's going to put an edge loop right between where I have masked. You can kind of see the shape that it's made. It's not that clean. So now what we can do is clear that mask and do a polish by, let's see, where is, I thought I had it. Polish by features right here. Just crank that up a little bit. And then that'll kind of polish between the two polygroups and get rid of those stair steppies. And now once we have this, well, we have these leg holes down here. That's okay. We can do remesher, keep groups same, and let's just try it and see if we get a better result through here. We do, and that looks pretty good. And we can just, come on, isolate our little slinglet. It's still too, it's like a long body. I need to like delete from here down. Might be wrong, but I feel it'll look more like the concept if the arms were smaller at the top than they are at the bottom. Yeah, I mean, they're the same width all the way, but yeah, I haven't quite got there yet. Let's see. Okay, let's just isolate the shirt. Delete hidden. There we go. How are you getting that pop-up menu? It's a custom menu that I made myself. And I give it away with my user interface. I wish I could just give away the menu, but it's embedded in the UI. But I do have a YouTube video where I walk through how to make your own custom menu. It's, if you look up 3D Character Workshop on YouTube, there's a video where I show you how to do that. But if you do want my user interface with that menu, and then I set it to hotkey number 2 on my keyboard, because hotkey number 1 is set to repeat last function, and I use that all the time, so I didn't want to overwrite it. So it's set to 2, and then what I do is I set my back pen button to 2, so it will pop up anywhere I have my pen. So it's super fast. So when I'm not streaming and I'm in the groove, it goes really quick. Okay, so now that we have this, let's scale it out. Oh, let's see. Are you using a display tablet? I am. I'm on an older Wacom 27-inch. Okay, let's see. I better center this and reset it. That's not symmetrical, and I don't know if it's the body or the shirt. So let's do mirror and weld on this, and a mirror and weld on this. Yep, it was the body. Okay. Make sure I turn symmetry back on. We grab our shirt. Now let's try it. There it goes. Now it's symmetrical. Okay, I just picture this thing as like a white. Wonder how many people back in the day figure out something when they stumbled upon a problem in a 3. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. When I first started learning it, it was, I'd been in Maya for years and years and years, like 15 years of my career. And then all of a sudden I had to learn ZBrush because we were making toys. And the team that I was working with, we all kind of just put our heads together and figured it out. And I do have to give credit to Ryan Kingsland back in the day. He made this book on how to make a game character with ZBrush. It was this female, and yeah, that helped us out a lot. Need to make this neck even smaller. I also worked on the Transformers movie Age of Extinction back in 2014. Oh man, that's awesome. I've never worked in film. That's one thing I kind of wish I had a little bit of experience in, but I've always worked in toys and games. Worked as a character animator in your previous career? Are you talking to me, Tattoon? I was an animator for about 5 years of my career. Here and there. Did some mocap stuff. Did some rigging stuff. Yeah. I've done it all. There you go, David. Do you like those arms better? They match the legs better. Okay. Let's get a sphere in here for the feeties. Help design Optimus truck. Nice. In the Galvatron while I was in the design studio. That's awesome. Wow. That's quite the claim to fame there. The real question was, did you enjoy it? Was it fun? Like Mr. Miyagi, but for 3D. Show me. Paint the fence. That's very high praise. Thank you. I take it. Yeah, Luck Lori for sure. So it's always fun to tell people about my first project versus my last project. So when I worked on Xena Warrior Princess for the Nintendo 64 a long time ago, I was responsible for everything art related. So they would assign us a character, and as a CG artist, basically, I was responsible for the character, the animations, the arena, like the environment, the texturing for both the character and the arena, the special effects, like the dust and all that kind of stuff, and then and the move sets. So the animation and what they would do in their hit boxes and all that stuff. Yeah, we were pretty all the things. Everything except programming. It's a little pointy, but. And I worked on port. I had to port Rogue Spear from the PC to PlayStation. That was interesting. I'm gonna smooth this down because I want, see this edge loop right here, the one kind of just below the middle. I want to curve it up to there. I worked on a Lego Bionicle game. That was when I was doing animation. I worked on a Brother Bear game. Do you guys remember the movie Brother Bear? And then I worked on Advent Rising, which was a game for the Xbox. I did most of the cinematics for that. With of course my team's help. It wasn't me. But I was in the mocap suit a lot for that one. Even the females. That was a fun experience. Yeah, Advent Rising was kind of like Mass Effect before Mass Effect. It was trying to be something like Mass Effect ended up being, in my opinion. I think the team didn't quite have the resources and stuff to quite pull it off. They did pull off a really nice game, but it wasn't like Mass Effect. It was I think it was like the inspiration to get there. Okay, I want to make these a lot bigger. Yeah, applying for a job now. It's so I just talked to some people recently and they're like, we need you to be passionate about one small thing on a character, like the hair or the skin textures, or you have to be like extremely focused. It's no longer, so it went from extreme generalist doing everything to very, very focused on you're good at one little thing. And it's not little, like hair is not little, but like it's not the entire character either. Okay, split mouse points. Yeah. Brother Bear was fantastic. Then I worked on Warhawk as an animator / rigger. And that was the studio that's best known for Twisted Metal Black. I did not work on Twisted Metal. That was before my time at the studio. Got on PC, never played it very far. There was some hard-coded letter boxing. Doesn't go away. Yeah, I can see that. Watch Brother Bear with my mother. The whole cinema, because it was the last showing. Oh, wow. That specialization is why I don't expect to work for a big studio. Yeah. I mean, there's still independent studios. And, you know, it's becoming so more and more people can make a whole entire game by themselves. That's becoming more and more of a reality. Somebody was asking about AI, and I feel like that is where AI can really help and shine, is helping the individual produce more than they could on their own ever before, you know? Like the Stardew Valleys of the world. Valheim. Some phenomenal games that were not created by a large team, you know? But it still leaves room for the AAA games. Like, so the studio, my old studio, they, after Infinity, they went on to get purchased out by Warner Brothers, and they made Hogwarts Legacy, which is also a fantastic game. How do you start searching for your concept art? I typically go to Pinterest, and I find an artist that I like, and then you kind of just go down the rabbit hole from there, because Pinterest will give you recommendations of other artists to check out and follow. And that's typically where I see, but I follow people on like LinkedIn and Facebook and all those, and a lot of times I'll end up seeing their art as they come through and post their art on those social medias. And that's how I found this one, because I follow Shafi on, I can't remember where, but when he posted this one, I saw it. Okay, this is looking weird. Turn on this. So with this dynamic thickness, right now it's making the thickness go from the inside out, but there is an option to make it go from the outside inwards, and it is underneath dynamic subdiv right here. And then if you look at thickness, there is offset, so it's right at 0, so it's actually going in both directions. But if you push it to -100, it'll push it to the inside, and that's more what I want. Okay. And then if you can always, if you think about, if you're wanting to put your model in your portfolio, and show it in any capacity like I am, make sure you reach out to that artist and ask them permission. Tell them what you're wanting to do. And 9 times out of 10, they'll be ecstatic that you want to, that you're inspired by their art and that you want to do it. So like I've talked to Shafi Ahe a couple times, and yeah, he absolutely loves that I'm modeling his stuff. So it's great. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I want AI to be doing, not the fun part. Keep looking at this stupid thumb. It's driving me crazy. I'll probably have to work on that and try and fix it off stream. Okay, his body is way too small. Way too small. I'm just building it and ignoring the head. It's like this ginormous head and this teeny little body. Okay, let's fix that. Holy cow. Why did I model it so stinking small? Okay, I'm sending everything to you, Lucklory. Let's see. So, how do we scale up the whole body even if it's in multiple subtools? I will show you how. I'm going to make the body active and center the gizmo. And I want to scale it from the neck down. So I'm going to move my gizmo right up to the neck, right there. And now I'm going to use this little function right here called transpose all selected subtools. Paul Gabriel likes to call it the pizza boxes, because when you open it up, it looks like a stack of pizza boxes. And then I hold down Control plus Shift and drag on the background and let go, and it will turn everything kind of this transparent looking thing. And then while holding Control and Shift, you can just start tapping on the subtools that you want to bring along for the ride. I want the shirt, the body, the pants, the shoes, but not the head or any of those things. I want to leave those alone. So now I have all this selected, and I can just scale it up. Okay. That's about, well, let's just kind of stick it back there and see. Let's just test it. Bring it over here. Whoops. Scale it on up a little bit. And I don't match this exactly, but you can turn perspective on. Let's turn it to 50. And then just kind of park our little guy back there. And looks like his hands are about right. His body's still a little long. See where his shorts go beyond my shorts, or the concept. And then his shoes could be way bigger. Way bigger. Okay. And then his torso could be a little smaller. See how small this is versus my guy's torso. And then I could also lean him forward a little bit more. John, probably. And if you ever want to reset them, so if you have this turned on and you want to reset it, just hold down Control plus Shift and just drag on the background. You can go back and forth between everything is selected and nothing is selected. And then when nothing is selected, it's easy just to add things to it. You can also put things in a folder, and then you can click on that folder. There's the gear of the folder and say transpose everything in the folder, and it will basically do what I just showed you, but for everything in that folder. That way you can move everything in that folder together. You can't sculpt with it, but you can move, rotate, or scale everything using that method. Okay, so kind of looking at this, his head feels a little wide to me. Let's see. But we're getting there. Okay. Metal Gear, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Okay, we'll go park that back where it was. Looks like we've got about 20 minutes left. Let's see if we can fix these shorts and the shoes. Well, I want to shrink down his whole body, but not his hands. Trying to think here. I think I'm going to go back to using the transpose everything again. Okay, and I want to just kind of skinny him up a little bit like this. And like this. And it is skewing his hands, but that's okay. I'll fix them in a minute. Okay, that's feeling better. Yeah, don't be too precious about your stuff. Like as you're working on it, if it's not working, save off a version, try to fix it. So with these shorts, I can mask out this outer edge, invert it, put the gizmo kind of at the top, and just widen these shorts up to make it more of a triangle shape. Grab this body, pull the shoulders in, gotta turn on symmetry. And then the shirt. Oh. I can give the shirt thickness too. Let's turn off this. That looks pretty good. There we go. I'm not hating that. Yeah, I kind of want these pants to be like laying on the back of his legs and hanging forward from gravity. It looks like I lost his butt shape. You can also take pinch, just kind of turn it down a little bit, run it along here. Something like that. And then for this, we can do the same thing with the pinch. The pinch is almost like a modeling brush because it will actually displace the geometry. Like it'll move it. Okay. He's so sad. It's like, why? Yes, I have JJ, but I can't really talk about it because this is the official Maxon YouTube channel, Pixelogic Maxon. So I like to keep the conversation on their software. Yeah, why? Okay, that's feeling pretty okay. I want to grab these shorts and just kind of pull them up just a little bit. Just so I can grab these shoes and make them much, much bigger. Huge. Something like that, and then we'll get that. Let's get the socks. Okay, for these socks, let's go with a cylinder. And we can split them off. Arrow down. So when you split objects away from each other, the split object will move into a subtool below the one you're currently working on. So you can just arrow key up and down to go through different subtools. And so just make sure after you split it off, you just tap the down arrow and it'll automatically select it. It's a pretty nice hotkey there. Yeah, look, Lori, if you're talking about with the pizza boxes, yeah, you could totally mask off the hands. It respects masking for sure. Okay, so for these socks, what I want to do is I want to group by normals, which is going to cap. It'll put a cap on the top and the bottom of these. And then we can do a mirror and weld. So they're symmetrical. And then get rid of the caps. This, like this. Turn on double. So we just have these tubes. Then we can do delete hidden. So we just have these empty tubes. And then we can use the Z modeler to insert a ring right in the middle, a loop. And then we can mask off or unmask this center ring. Center the gizmo, scale it on down to get that shape there. And then going back to the Z modeler brush, we can hover over a Q mesh of poly, but we want to change it to extrude polygroup all. We can give ourselves thickness, but it's very hard edged and we want soft sockies. So let's uncrease all. And now they're pretty soft, but I think I want to give ourselves another edge. So I'm going to bevel this one. So bevel, edge loop, complete. Just want to split this like that. We can do the one on the interior as well. Just to give ourselves more geometry to work with here. Feels pretty good. And we can put the whole thing in one poly group, it doesn't matter. And then maybe slide these down the leg more. And then use our move brush. Just kind of munge them around. Munge is a word, right? Munge. Just kind of fix that interpenetrating geometry. And you can make it kind of flop over on the front a little bit. Something like that. Okay. Now we can maybe color that toe. Let's take a look at our edge loops. We don't really have an edge loop that would work for that toe very well. So we could slice it off, or we could just like nudge those edge loops down to give ourselves a straight edge, which I kind of want to do. So I'm looking at this loop right here that we can just kind of force to be our toe edge loop. Just straighten it out. Okay. I don't want to smooth it too much because smoothing will unstraighten it. What's kind of fun is there's a trick to like make it absolutely straight if you want. And we'll try it here. We can get this mask lasso and unmask it. So I'm going to just kind of encircle it like this. And then if you add Alt to that selection, it will mask everything but that edge loop. It looks like I missed this right here. So you can go back to mask pen and hold down mask. Make sure your brush is small enough. And just unmask it like that. And now, to straighten it out, there's two things you can do. You can either put the gizmo as best as you can, kind of in the middle of there, and then scale it down on one axis. But you have to do it over and over and over again to get it straight. Another way to do it is use the clip curve brush, because that's like a clip, it's like a merge brush. Here, let's turn the dynamic subdivisions off so you can actually see what it's looking like. Okay, so we have this here, and basically this clip curve, it's going to take everything on the faded side of that line and slam it down to the dotted line. So if I put everything on the faded side that I want to straighten, it will respect that mask and it will just straighten that right out all the way across. It looks like this must have been on the other side of that line right there, that little bit. Slam it. Skadoosh. So we can just nudge it over there like that. Then from all these different directions, with the masking still on, we can just kind of nudge it around. Okay. Now that we have our straight line, we can either separate it off, smooth this down just around it. It's looking kind of weird. Like we could split the toe off to be its own piece, or we could bevel this line right here. That's what I'm going to do. Z-modeler, take this line, bevel it out like this, and then we'll insert an edge in the middle. Like that. And then you can hover over an edge and say transpose edge loop complete. And that kind of does the same thing as what I was showing you, but it will mask everything off except for that line. And then I can hold Control and reverse inflate it, which is move along normals, but towards the inside. And that will kind of give us a ring all the way around that we can use. Like that. And then if we subdivide it, it kind of looks like that. And we can't really color it because there's not enough vertices until we actually add subdivision levels. Kind of looks like a pill now, like a weird looking pill. Okay, anyway, I think that's probably all I have time for other than trying to fix these hands. Just going to nudge these hands around. And then I still feel like his head is too wide. I'd probably squish it overall, like left and right. Just that width is a little too big to me. Leaving the hat alone and the hair alone up here, just squishing this whole thing together. Maybe leaving the teeth. Let me try it really quick. Again, with the, we can turn off perspective for a second. Just turn this on, clear everything out, and just select the parts that we want to squish. So these hairs, the ear, leave the teeth, leave the hat. We can squish this hair. I think that's all we need. I'm not going to squish his nose just yet. Let's see what that gives us. I'm going to turn off symmetry and center this. Reset it. Turn symmetry back on. And just kind of squish his head in to make it just a little rounder. I think that's good. So you can do some really big adjustments with that tool. Back in the day when we didn't have that tool, we would have to go and use T-Pose Master and use masking to get to move and scale multiple objects. But now we have the option to use that little tool, and it's great. All right. Well, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It's been great. And as usual, I teach my online course. It's called the 3D Character Workshop. If you want to learn how to make characters like this one. And again, if you wanted to, if you had more questions about my acceleration program, I don't really advertise it, but if you're interested, please send an email to shane.olson@3dcharacterworkshop.com. Be happy to answer your questions there. Yep, you're welcome. Thanks for hanging out, being a loyal follower, Mark. I appreciate it. And thanks everybody for hanging out with me today. I know you got other stuff you could be doing, so I really appreciate you hanging out with me and just watching me sculpt stuff. It's a lot of fun. I look forward to this every single week. So thanks everybody. And we'll see everybody next Monday. Even though I'm not on the calendar, I will be here. I'll get on the calendar. So, all right, take care, everybody. Have a good week, and we'll see you next Monday. Bye.